साथ चलाते हैं। Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today is our 26th lecture of maths, and we will do 2.2 and 2.3. 2.2 is about all the properties of real numbers for equality and also for inequality. And in 2.3 we will discuss about the radical and the radicand. First property is closure property. This is a closure property of the whole numbers. It means that the whole numbers are closed under addition. If a and b are two whole numbers and a plus b is equal to c, then c is also a whole number. 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. 3 is a whole number and 4 is also a whole number. When we add them, our answer must be from the whole number. If it becomes 7, the whole number, it means that the set contains closure property or set is closed under the addition. The next property is commutative property. Commutative property in which we have two numbers, and if we change the places of the number with respect to addition, then that property is called commutative property with respect to addition. Like a plus b is equal to b plus a. Only we change the place of a and b. Same here in the example, 4 plus 2 is equal to 2 plus 4. Only what we did here, only we change the place of 2 and 4. But when you add 4 plus 2, it will be 6, and 2 plus 4 also 6. The answer is same for right hand side and the left hand side. There is no change in answer, but only we replace the number. We change the places of the number. The next property is associative property. In associative property, three numbers or three elements participate: a plus b plus c. First, a and b are partners, they both are within the brackets, and c is out from the bracket. And then on the other side, a is out the bracket and b plus c, they both are within the bracket. The example is here, 2 plus 3 plus 4. You see that 2 and 3, they both are partner and 4 is alone. And the other side, 3 and 4, they both become partner and 2 is alone. Here only we change the brackets, only we change the partners. In commutative property, what we did, we changed the places of the numbers, and in associative property, we change the partners, we change the brackets. The next property is additive identity. Additive identity. The name of identity means only there is one number. When we add with any number, the answer will become unchanged. This is called additive identity. And 0 is the only number. When you add it any number, the answer will become the same. No change is there. Either 200 plus 0 will be 200, 1 plus 0 will be 1. So additive identity is a number which when added to any number gives the sum as a number itself. It means that additive identity is 0, as adding 0 to any number gives a sum as a number itself. Additive inverse. The additive inverse of the number a is the number that when added to a yields 0. This number is also known as the positive sign change and negation for a real number. It reverses its sign. The opposite to a positive number is negative, and the opposite to a negative number is positive. Additive inverse mean when you add two numbers, you get 0. The answer becomes 0. It means that if we have the same numbers but the signs are opposite, when we add them, we get 0 or we get the additive identity. Suppose you have plus 2 and minus 2. Minus 2 is called the additive inverse of plus 2 because when you add plus 2 and minus 2, 0 will be in the answer. So additive inverse mean the same number with opposite sign. Now the same properties we have with multiplication. We have done the properties with addition like Loyer property, commutative property, associative property, additive identity and additive inverse. Now we have the same properties but with respect to multiplication. Under the multiplication, we check that which numbers are where we use these properties. Closure property if we have two numbers. If we have two numbers and we multiply them, the answer will be in the same set, then call that these numbers hold the closure property with respect to multiplication. Suppose we have to multiply by 3, 2 and 3. They both are whole numbers. 2 multiplied by 3 is 6 and the answer is 6. 6 is also a whole number. It means that the set of whole number holds the closure property with respect to multiplication. Commutative property under multiplication, the same a multiplied by b is equal to b multiplied by a. Only we change the place of the numbers. The sign is same, the multiplication. Only we change a with b and b with a. Associative property of multiplication. Again, there are three numbers and only we change the brackets or we change the partners over here. Associative property of multiplication allows us to group factors in different ways to get the same product. The product in the same, only the grouping is different. 2 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 7, left hand side, is equal to 2 multiplied within the bracket 6 multiplied by 7. What we did here, only we change the partner of 6. In left hand side, the partner of 6 is 2 and the right hand side, the partner of 6 is 7. When you simplify this, the answer will be same, both left hand side and right hand side. Multiplicative identity. In addition, we have additive identity and 0 is additive identity. When you add the number 0 with any number, the answer is unchanged. Same here, when you multiply a number with any number, the answer is unchanged. The multiplicative identity is 1. You multiply 100 with 1 will be 100, 1000 multiply 1 it will be 1000. So this is called multiplicative identity. In the addition, we did additive inverse, and in multiplication definitely we have multiplicative inverse. Multiplicative inverse mean when you multiply two numbers, the answer become 1. When you multiply two numbers, any two numbers, the answer will in any case become 1. So if you have 7, then the multiplicative inverse of 7 will be 1 by 7, because when we multiply these two numbers, 7 multiply 1 by 7, 7 will be cancelled and only 1 will be left there. Properties of equality of real numbers. Reflexive property. Reflexive property of equality means that anything is equal to itself. This is same that you find your image in the mirror. This is called the reflexive property. This property tells us that any number is equal to itself. For example, 3 is equal to 3 definitely, 4 is equal to 4, 8 is equal to 8. This is called reflexive property. The next property is called symmetric property. Symmetric property of equality is really quite simple. This property states that if A is equal to B, then B is equal to A. For example, all of the following are demonstrations of the symmetric property. If x plus y is equal to 7, then we can set that 7 is equal to x plus y. What you did in symmetric property? Only we change the position of the number. The equality is same, only we change the left hand side to the right hand side and the right hand side to the left hand side. This is not same like a commutative property. In commutative property, we only change the place of the numbers like a plus b and we change b plus a. But in symmetric property, we change left hand side and right hand side with each other. Next is transitive property. The transitive property of equality in mathematics, if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then definitely A is equal to C. A is equal to B and B is already equal to C. It means that both the number A and C, they are equal to B. If we omit B from them, then A is equal to C. This is called transitive property. Like if A is equal to 5 for example, then B and C must both also be 5, definitely by the transitive property. For example, humans eat cows and cows eat grass, so by the transitive property humans eat grass. Isn't it? Why you are laughing? Properties of equality of real numbers. Again, which property we will discuss? Identity property of addition. The sum of 0 and any number is that number. Simple. When you add 0 plus 4, it will be 4. 40 plus 0 is equal to 40 plus 4 is equal to 40 plus 4 equal to 4. 0 plus 4 is equal to 4 and 0 plus 4 is equal to 4 and 0 plus 4 is equal to 4 plus 0. Multiplicative property. The multiplicative property of minus 1 says that anytime you multiply something by minus 1, you change it into its opposite. Definitely, when you multiply any number or any term with negative sign, what happened? All the sign of that term or that number will be changed. If they are positive, they become negative, and if they have the negative number, they convert into positive number. Same example is given here. If you multiply 5 with minus 1, it will be minus 5. Or if you multiply minus 5 by 1, then it will be plus 5. Trichotomy property. Trichotomy property means tri means 3. Trichotomy property means we have three conditions there. A is less than B, B is less than A, and A is equal to B. A is less than B, A is greater than B, and A is equal to B. Three conditions, try mean 3. Try mean 3. This is TRI, not A. Try mean 3. So we have three conditions there. A is less than B and A is greater than B, or if A is equal to B. Transitive property, again we have inequalities. Now we have the transitive property of inequalities. If we have A, B, C, A is less than equal to B and B is less than equal to C, then definitely A is less than equal to C. In the previous property, we learned that if A is equal to B, B is equal to C, then A is equal to C. Now this is the property is same, but here we use the inequalities. In the previous one, we learned about the transitive property of equality. Now we have inequalities. A is less than B and B is less than C, then definitely A is less than C. Additive property, when we have inequality, we can add the number to the same side, the same number to the both sides. Like we have x is greater than y, if you add z to both sides, the inequality will be unchanged. If you have x is less than y, you add any number to both sides, then the inequality will be unchanged. This is called the additive property. In the previous, we learned about the additive property of equality, and this is the additive property of inequality. Almost all the properties are same in equalities and inequalities. Only the multiplicative property is changed, because when you multiply a negative sign in inequalities, it become change. Greater become less and less will be changed into greater, because when we multiply any number with the negative sign, the sign of that number will change. So definitely the inequality will be changed. Inequality, there will be no difference when you multiply any number with -1, because equality means equal. But in inequality, when we multiply the number, inequality become change, greater change into less, and less will be changed into greater. Multiplicative inverse, taking the reciprocal. Definitely in the equality, I told you, when we take the reciprocal, suppose we have a number 7 and you take the reciprocal of 1 over 7, you multiply both the number and you will get 1. Inequalities, and the when we multiply or when we take the reciprocal of the number, the inequality will be changed. Suppose you have a is greater than b. When you take the reciprocal of both the numbers, it will become 1 over a is less than 1 over b. When a is greater than b, when we take the reciprocal of both the numbers, the inequality become changed. 1 over a is less than 1 over b. Yes, students, now we have exercise 2.2. This is very easy exercise. All the exercise almost objective type. Only you have, you mentioned the properties over there in question 1, 2 and 3 also. In question 2 also you write the property against each step. That which property satisfy the step 5. The solution is already given in question 2. Yes, question number 1. A plus B is equal to B plus A. You see clearly that B and A, they both change their position and they have a positive sign. It means that they holds commutative property with respect to addition. WRT means with respect to addition. The next is A, B and C. There is no sign, it means that there is multiplication sign. And B change the partner. In the left hand side, A is the partner of B, and in the right hand side, B is a partner of C. So this is associative property with respect to multiplication. 7 multiplied by 1 is equal to 7. Very easy. This is multiplicative identity. Next is inequality. X is greater than y, or x is equal to y, or x is less than y. Three conditions are there. Trichotomy property. AB is equal to BA. Again, there is multiplication sign and AB change their position. This is called commutative property with respect to multiplication. The next is A plus C is equal to B plus C implies that A is equal to B. Now you see that in the answer no C is there. It means that this is called cancellation property of addition because there is positive sign. 5 plus minus 5 is equal to 0. They both are additive inverse of each other because when we add two numbers and the answer becomes 0, it means that they are inverse of each other, additive inverse of each other. The seventh is 7 multiply 1 over the 8 number is 7 multiply 1 over 7 is equal to 1. 7 and 1 over 7, they both are multiplicative inverse of each other. The last part of this question, A is greater than B, implies that AC is greater than BC. I told you that when we multiply any inequality with a negative sign, with the negative number, then the inequality will be changed. It becomes, if there is greater sign, then it becomes a less sign. But you see in the bracket they mention C is greater than 0. This means C is a positive number. So when we multiply both inequalities, there is no change in the inequality because C is a positive number. In the journal, they said that C is greater than 0. Question number 2. Fill in the following blanks by stating the properties of real numbers used. You see that the solution is already given, only you write the properties which satisfy the given steps. The first step is 3x plus 3y minus 3x. In the first step, 3 is outside the bracket and in the next, 3 multiplied with y and 3 both. This is x, y minus x. This is not y minus 3, y minus x. This is distributive property of multiplication over subtraction because 3 is before the bracket and y minus x within the bracket. When we open the bracket, we multiply y with 3 and also 3 with x. So that's why this is called, we distribute 3 with y and x both. That's why this property is called distributive property of multiplication because in 3 and the bracket there is multiply sign. So that's why multiplication over subtraction mean within the bracket there is negative sign. If there is positive sign, then it will be over addition. The next step you see, we combine 3x and 3x. We change the position of 3y and 3x. They both interchange their position, 3y and minus 3x. This is called commutative property. When the numbers change their position, that property is called commutative property. In the next step, when we simplify 3x minus 3x, answer becomes 0. It means that they both are additive inverse of each other. That's why our answer becomes 0. 3x minus 3x is 0 and this is additive inverse. Now when we add 0 with 3y, the answer is unchanged. This is 3y. Here we use the additive identity. Come to the question 3. Give the name of the property used in the following. The first part, under root 24 plus 0. Plus 0, it means that additive identity. In the next part, you see minus 2 by 3, 5 plus 2 by 7. And to the right hand side, minus 2 by 3 distributed 5 and 7 by 2. Minus 2 by 3 is a partner of 5, and also minus 2 by 3 is the partner of 7 by 2. It means that if the number is repeated to the other side, it means we are using their distributive property. Distributive property of multiplication over addition, because in the bracket there is plus sign, so that's why over addition. The third part, pi minus pi is equal to 0, additive inverse, because the number are same, both pi and pi, only they have the opposite sign. When we add them, answer is 0. They both are additive inverse of each other. Under root 3 into under root 3 is a real number. It means that this part holds Closure property, because I told you when there are two numbers with any set, you add or multiply them, the answer become in that set. Then we said that that set holds the Closure property. So under root 3 and under root 3, they both are real numbers. When you multiply them, the answer become a real number. It means that they hold the Closure property. Minus 5 over 8 multiply minus 8 over 5. You see that both signs are same, but numbers are the reciprocal of each other, and after the multiplication answer is 1. This is multiplicative inverse of each other. Here we finish 2.2 and now we have 2.3. Students, if you learn the properties by heart, then it will be very easy to use in the questions, because not in this exercise we are using the properties, in the theorems and also in class 10 and also in the next chapters we use the properties in some questions. Concepts of The next topic is concepts of radicals and radicands. Radicals, the under root sign, the square root sign is called the radical sign, and the numbers which we write under the radical sign, this is called radicands. And the number which are written outside the radical sign are called the index of that radical. Radical, the symbol n under root x used to indicate a root is called the radical and is therefore read x radical n, or the nth root of x. In the radical symbol, the horizontal line is called the vinculum. The quantity under the vinculum is called the radicand, and the quantity n written to the left is called the index. N is the index, the square root sign is a radical, and x is called the radicand. 2.3, only three questions are there. Question 1 and 2, they both are only objective. You tell that whether this is true or false. Only in question 3 there is solution. Yes, question number 1 is write each radical expression in exponential notation. Exponential mean if you write any number in the form of power, like x square 2 raised to the power 3, this is called exponential expression or exponential notation. Now in each case radical sign or some where the powers are given and we convert it in radical, and the radical will convert into exponential expression. The first one is minus 64 the square root 3, the third root of minus 64. So when we write in the exponential form minus 64 and whole power 1 over 3. Always remember then when you have an index, when you remove the radical sign, the index will be in the denominator. Like in the fraction I mean 1 by 3. If there is 5, then we write 1 over 5. Now see part 2, 2 power 3 over 5. 2 power 3 over 5. Now 5 is in the denominator. It means that 5 is the index of the radical and 3 will be the power of 2. 2 raised the power 3 and 5 is the index. Same in the next part, 1 over 3, it means that 3 will be the index. When you convert it into the radical sign, 3 under root minus 7. Same, minus 2 over 3. Again, 3 is in the denominator. It will be the index of the radical sign. And we write 2 in the power of y. Y minus 2, the third root of y minus 2. Question number 2 is only true and false, so you will do it by yourself. Question number 3. Simplify the following radical expression. Simplify. Now we the every question we will find the prime factors, and then according to the power we will simplify them. The first is 125. You see that we find the prime factors of 125. There are three fives. We can write cube root of minus 25 as minus 125. You convert it into exponential form, 1 by 3. Here we find the prime factor of 125. 125, 5 raised to the power 3. When we have two powers, one on the number and other on the bracket, we multiply the both brackets. Sorry, the both powers. 3 multiply 1 over 3. 3 and 3 cancel, only 1 will be left there, minus 5. And I mentioned the property over here, and we also done this in class 7. Do you remember this? In chapter 4, you done this property. The next part is the fourth root of 32. The index is 4, so we said this fourth root of 32. Find all the prime factors of 32, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 twos are there. Because the power is 1 by 4, so we can write 5 twos as 2 raised to the power 4 multiplied by 2. Open the bracket. 4, 1 by 4 will be multiplied with 4, and also it will be the power of 2. Now if 4 and 4 cancel, 2 and 2 raised to the power 1 by 4. Again we convert 2 raised to the power 1 by 4 into the radical sign. 2 into fourth root of 2. Third part is fifth root of 3 over 32. We cannot find the prime factors of 3 because 3 is also a prime number. Again we convert 32 into the prime factors. 2 raised to the power 5. 2 fives will be there. 3 raised to the power 1 by 5, and also 32 raised to the power 1 by 5. When we convert 32 to the prime factors, 2 raised to the power 5 multiply 1 by 5. They both are cancelled. In the numerator, we write the fifth root of 3 over 2. The fifth root of 3 over 2. The last part of this question, this exercise, and also this lecture is 8 over minus 27, the cube root of 8 over minus 27. Again, you calculate the prime factors of 8 and also the prime factors of 3. When we simplify it, 3 multiply 1 by 3, and also 2 multiply 2 raised to the power 3 multiply 1 by 3. The negative sign will be them, minus 2 power 3 multiply 1 over 3, 3 raised to the power 3 multiply 1 over 3. Both 3's are cancelled in the numerator and the denominator, and only minus 2 over 3 is left. So this is the answer of third root of minus 8 over 27, which is minus 2 over 3. These two exercises are very easy. I hope that you understand all the properties and also the exercises 2.2 and 2.3. If you have any problem, you can discuss with me again in Zoom meeting. You also do all the question on your neat copy. You do your work date wise. Okay, students. Allah Hafiz. Inshallah, we will meet in Zoom meeting.